In this video, I wanted to show you how you can take some of your photos and create a photo album template. So we can create something like this, and we can add text and overlay border. This border I used is a glitter border that I downloaded from DesignNet, and they have a sale on right now, a $1 event, and I'll put a link in the description. This overlay is normally $4 and it's on sale for $1, and they have a whole bunch more. So like I said, I'll put a link in the description so that you can take advantage of that $1 sale that they have going. I'll get a small commission, and this just helps me a little bit and motivates me to keep making these tutorials for you. So once you have the photos that you want to use for your album, come up here to the Layers panel, and then we're going to determine our canvas size. So we want to click this plus sign, and this is something new in PhotoDirector 10. Create empty project, and I'm going to create an album that's 8 by 8, so I'm just going to call it album 8 by 8. And for the dimensions, I'm going to make it 2400 by 2400. And I'm going to make it transparent. I'm getting that 2400 by taking the dimensions 8 times 300 ppi, because that's the resolution I want it to be when I print it. So click OK. And we're going to create the template first. I mean, you can drag your photos up first if you want. It's whatever order you're comfortable with, but for the tutorial, I'll do the template first. So I'm going to go to full screen and then click on to the shape tool. And I'm also going to unlock this layer. So with the shape tool and also the grid showing, and this is also something that's new in PhotoDirector 10. We're going to create 4 boxes that are 1000 pixels by 1000 pixels, and this defaulted to these dimensions just because I had previously done this. So it's whatever size you choose. So because I've already defined these dimensions, you don't need to click and drag. You just need to click, and it creates the box with those dimensions. So I'm going to make 4 of them. And the reason I made these over to the right a little is because if this goes into a binder or a bound book, like if you were to upload this to a photo printing service that creates photo books for you, you want a little bit of space here for the binding on the left. So that's why I did it like that. And also along the top, we're going to add some text up here. So I allowed for a little bit more space on the top. So the next thing we want to do is go back to the photo viewer and browser, so we can see our photos that we want to drag. And we can also turn our grid off now. So I'm just going to grab the first 4 photos, and I'm going to put each photo on top of each shape. Here's my 3rd photo and my 4th photo. Oops. So now we can start applying the clipping mask. So we'll start from the top. So just right click and apply clipping mask, and then go to your next photo, right click apply clipping mask. And your next photo, apply clipping mask. And your last photo, apply clipping mask. So now we need to move the photos so we can see them. So click back up to your top photo and make sure your pick and move tool is selected. And then just click and drag your photo. And you can resize it if you need to, or zoom out if you want to. And then just click on each photo until you have them all placed where you want them. So go to your next photo. And our last photo. So let's make this full screen and choose our background. So come down here to your bottom layer and then come up here to the Add New Layer. And this time we're going to choose Add Solid Color Layer. And this is also new in Photoshop or PhotoDirector 10. So click that. And you can move this out of the way if you want. Just click and drag it. And the eyedropper tool shows up, which is also new in PhotoDirector 10. So if you wanted to choose a color out of one of the photos, you could do that, or you can just choose a solid color like black and do that. And another new feature in PhotoDirector 10 is now we can change, it automatically adds a layer mask, and I'll show you about that in a moment, but I just want to show you how easy it is to change the color of the background. And this is new to PhotoDirector 10, so if you want to change it to white, just click OK. If you wanted to actually change it to the color, the eyedropper, you can do that. And then you can add different layers if you want. So just create another Add Solid Color layer, and let's say you want this one to be blue, just click OK. So if you wanted to test them out to see what each one looks like, just turn them off. So there's the green one, and there's without. So you could just create a whole bunch of different solid colors and just turn them on and off. So I'm going to make this black. And let me show you the layer mask. Now if we come up to the pen tool, this is now acting as an eraser. So the only two colors you have is black and white. Now white reveals and black conceals. So with the black chosen and our brush, you can choose pencil brush, airbrush. I'm going to choose brush. Now if we were to paint over this, it reveals the green underneath. So this is concealing this black background, and it's revealing the green underneath. Let me just show you another example. Let's change the color to pink. And let's just do that again. Go back to your layer mask and go back up here to the brush color and change this to black. Click OK. And then just start painting. And it's concealing the black now. It's hiding the black, but it's revealing the pink underneath. So if you want to undo that, just change your brush to white again and paint over it. And you'll see your layer mask goes back to solid white. And you can delete the layer mask entirely if you want. You can disable it, or you can just delete it entirely. So let's bring it back. So right click and create layer mask and reveal all. And then let's just turn both of those off for now. So now we're going to add some text. So I'm going to click on the very top layer, and I'm going to click the text tool, and you can scroll through all your fonts here. I have quite a few fonts because I've downloaded them already. So I'm just going to pick a random font, and my size, I will make my size 300, and then just click where I want to start typing, and I'm just going to type Just Mary. Click OK, and you can click and drag and size it down if you want to. There we go. So you can turn your background layer on now if that's what you want. Or if you want to reveal just a little bit of the pink beneath, you can come up to that layer mask, go back up to your pen tool, and with the black selected, you just start painting if you want something like that. Or we can create a selection of the text itself and actually paint in the text. So let me just show you. I'm going to turn those two layers, background layers, off. I'm going to come back up to the text layer, and I'm going to choose the Select Area tool. And with the magic wand selected, I'm just going to click anywhere outside of the text and make sure contiguous is not checked, because you want to click everything. So it's going to ask you to convert it to an image, so say OK. Now click. Now it's selecting everything outside of the text. So what you want to do is invert that selection so the text is actually selected. And now we're going to click the delete selection. So now we have a selection. So now if we go back onto our background layer, and let me just delete that layer mask and just apply a new one. So now if we were to start painting just in this selection, it's going to reveal just the pink inside of the text. Let me show you. So let's go to the pen tool, and with the black selected, you're just going to start painting on that layer mask, and it just reveals that pink beneath. Just like that. Now if you wanted to just the top and the bottom of the text to be a different color, let's say white, then you can add another solid color layer. So just come down here to the bottom and add a new layer and add a solid color layer, and let's just make it white. And so now we're going to go on the layer mask of the pink layer, and we're going to do the same thing with the black selected. With your pen tool, just start painting where you want to see white. And so let's say you wanted just a portion of that to be blue. Then you would create another solid layer mask. So click on your bottom layer, come back up here, click Add a Solid Color Layer, and change that to blue. Click OK. And then you'll come up to the layer mask of your previous white layer, and you'll do the same thing. So let's say you just want this area to be blue, and this area. So you have sort of this rainbow effect. And if you change your mind, you just switch your color back to white, click OK, and then just paint over those areas again. So once you're satisfied with that and you want to get out of that selection, choose Command or Control D to deselect. And then you can come up to this Just Married layer and we can delete it because there's nothing there. In fact, if we were to move it, you can see there's a little bit of residue. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a little bit of residue because we had cut that out, like a stencil. So just delete that layer. Just right click, choose delete. And if you change your mind, you can just completely turn it off. You can right click on that layer mask and disable it. Or you can right click and you can just delete it altogether and start all over again. Come up to your top layer, choose your text tool, and you want to use a different font or type something different. I noticed I had cut off the top of the J, so let's just change the font. So I'm just going to choose that font. Whoops. So we can also add an overlay if we wanted to. So I'm just going to come down here and I've got these glitter borders that I like. So I'm going to choose this first one and you just have to click and drag the file and just drop it on top of your icon. And this, I'm working in a Mac, I don't know how this works for Windows. And it automatically drops that overlay, but we need to move it so that it's not on top of the photos. We need it to be underneath. So click and drag it so that it's on top of your very first background layer. And I just want to delete some of the overlay that's underneath the text. So I just find that distracting. So while you're on that layer, right click and let's add a layer mask, reveal all, and then come up to your pen tool and with the brush color set to black, we just want to start painting just right there. And you can change the blend mode if you want to. Actually, I'll change it over here. I'm going to scroll through them and see. There, I like that one, the hard light. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So if you're happy with that, then just go ahead and save, whether you save it as a JPEG or a PNG, or if you want to save it as a PHI, which keeps all of your layers intact. So if you want to work on this in the future, you can. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe and let me know if there's anything else that you want to see. I'll be doing more tutorials, and again, I'm going to link the Design Bundles website if you want to go to their website and download some of their fonts and some of their other goodies. They've got a really good $1 sale on right now, so I think it's over after tomorrow. I think they still have the sale on Cyber Monday, so you might want to check that out.